According to Gilbert, the total world caffeine consumption in 1981 was estimated to be approximately 120,000 tons, equivalent to 70 milligrams a day for each inhabitant on the planet. Hey everyone, I'm here today to give you a little insight into the world's most popular drug, caffeine. It is estimated that 80% of Americans drink caffeine of some sort, whether it's coffee, tea, the hundreds of energy drinks available, or synthesized into pill form for medication or recreational purposes. I myself have been a coffee drinker from the age of 16. When I got my first job at a gas station after a long day of school, I would sneak a cup of coffee to make it through my job. And until this day, I still have myself a cup every morning and sometimes a second one at night. Our usage of caffeine has become such a norm in today's culture and spread through all ages and lifestyles that today I would like to tell you a little bit more about the history of caffeine, its both positive and negative effects on the human body, and finally caffeine in today's modern culture. So let's move forward to its history. Much of the exact origins of caffeine is still unknown. There are stories that date caffeine usage back to the Stone Age. By chewing on different seeds, barks, and leaves, people would receive the positive effects of changing in mood and alertness and was commonly used. A little less than 200 years ago, in 1820, caffeine was first extracted from the cacao bean by a German scientist named Frederick Rung, who gave it the name we know of it today, caffeine. According to the FDA, there are 60 different varieties of plants that contain caffeine. Among the most popular are tea leaves, coffee beans, and cola nuts. Each one is made by different manufacturers and hundreds of varieties of flavors ranging from sweet to bitter and anything in between to please everyone's needs. Although the strength of caffeine differ in the amount and type taken. For example, the average cup of coffee contains anywhere between 95 to 200 milligrams. Teas range anywhere from 5 to 70 milligram, sodas from approximately 15 to 55 milligram. Energy drinks have between 70 to 210, and to name the few synthesized ones, no-dose pills have approximately 200 milligrams, and Excedrin headache pills have about 65 milligrams. So you see, depending on what you take, the strength of caffeine can vary widely. Next, we'll talk about caffeine's effects on the human body. We could probably all agree that the average coffee drinker doesn't drink it because of how refreshing or hydrated it is. They drink it for its acquired natural effects on the human body. Upon taking orally, caffeine reaches its peak effect in about 15 to 45 minutes, depending on the food content already in your stomach and your body's natural disposition to caffeine. And the effects last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. The positive effects include alertness, increase in focus, decrease in drowsiness, and helping with concentration. So you can see why it's so popular among all walks of life, from students to blue-collar workers who could use a little extra boost when they feel a bit fatigued or tired. On the other end of the spectrum, caffeine also comes with some negative effects. First off, with continued use, dependency can occur in the human body, and it can become a problem when you try to quit, as you can start suffering from withdrawal symptoms, which include anything from headaches, irritability, becoming lethargic are some of the most common ones. Other people who are not as experienced with caffeine or take too much of a dose can have some sort of caffeine intoxication, which can cause symptoms such as sleeplessness, anxiety, the jitters, becoming dizzy, upset of your digestive tract, or increase in blood pressure, and in the worst case scenario can even cause death. But although that is highly unlikely, as it would require an extremely large dose in a short period of time. And lastly, we'll get a little bit into caffeine in recent history with the introduction of energy drinks. Red Bull was the first energy drink introduced in the United States back in 1987, and since then hundreds of types of flavors and manufacturers have emerged, including Monster, Rockstar, Amp, and 5 Hour Energy Drink, just to name a few of the more popular brands. But apart from just caffeine, many other ingredients are put into the mix, stirring up potentially dangerous results. Caffeine usually comes in the form of a bitter drink reserved mostly for adults, but many of the energy drinks out there have been sweetened and altered so much that it's almost indistinguishable to the usual soda pop you can buy at the store. Marketing is also a big deal, as most of these drinks come in bright colored cans with loud names such as the previously ones mentioned, making them a very popular drink amongst the younger crowd. Apart from not only containing usually a larger dose of caffeine, they also include a variety of different vitamins and herbs that not all people will react to equally, and is potentially dangerous among teenagers who might not really know much of its effects over their own body. As we have heard lately in the news, there have been some deaths linked to these drinks involving kids, so it's always good to keep an eye out and know exactly what you and the loved ones around you are taking. Now, to wrap everything back together, I gave you a brief history on the origins of caffeine, its effects on the human body, and finally how caffeine usage is changing in today's modern culture. So if you're part of the estimated 80% of Americans who take caffeine in some sort, hopefully you were given a bit more information on the topic, and next time you have your cup of joe, you'll think a bit more about what you're actually taking. Thank you.